Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aquarius. If Aquarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Sun. And let's see what these tea leaves have to say. All right. So if you have not subscribed, please think about doing that. Also, welcome. Any subscribing, liking, commenting, all these kinds of things are really helpful for the channel, and I appreciate you so much. Okay, so let's see. I immediately see we have a little heart right in the center. Right there, we have a person standing here. You can see that they're wearing maybe a dress or maybe like a long robe, okay? And they have their arms and their head. We have over here some kind of animal. It looks like a deer possibly, or some kind of antelope or something like this. And so there is a sense of sacred gracefulness, something that is powerful and strong and quick and agile and fairly stealth, right? Although sometimes just kind of standing around in all of the wrong places, right? But okay, so when we see the sacred deer, I can hear TT meowing away out, trying to wake somebody up probably. When we see the sacred deer, we know that Spirit is right there with us. Now, Spirit is always with us, but sometimes Spirit really wants us to stop and look, okay? Almost like the deer in headlights, right? We just, that awe. Can you believe how potent the divinity is right now? So I think that there really is a sense of the sacred here. There's also, with that heart, I believe, really this feeling of the heart being a flame. There is a sense of just a deepening faith, or a faith renewed, okay? And I think that this is something that, with that solar card, right? It's like everything is, it's when we get to that real knowing of everything is in its right place. Not just when it feels good, not just when we're in that bliss, right? Where a lot of us are follow the bliss. I fall into that sometimes too. I think, why would I live a life of suffering? You know, I want to follow my bliss. Well, it's hard to sustain bliss. You know, I haven't figured it out. If you have, you let me know. But I know that life, there's an ebb and flow. Okay. There are times when things don't make sense. They're painful. It's hard to get motivated. It's hard to understand, just the chaos of things. And then there are other times when it all feels so good. Where, truly manifestations of, the divine thing of the source, and we feel okay about life. We feel good about life. We feel, our attachments to things lessen and lessen. Well, a lot of us vacillate, right? And there's so much in between that. No matter where we're at, we are in the right place. So I feel like you really are in this mode of thinking, yeah, everything is as it should be. Now, are you talking to yourself? Is this a place where you are kind of self-soothing, kind of, I have to often, everything is right. Everything is how it should be. Even if I don't understand it, even if I don't like it, it is how it should be. And this too shall pass, and I will learn from this, and all these things that we kind of tell ourselves when we're going through it. But maybe not, because I feel like, and I'm looking at this, there is such a scattering, okay, but I feel like they're little. It is almost like the sun card, right? Where you can see the zodiac around the circle there. And in its own way, it kind of seems the same. These little events kind of spiraling around. Now, I'm looking over here. We have a person who is running. We have a person here who's holding a telescope. And I see up here we have a rose. The rose often to me represents the mystery. Okay, the kind of core thing. Closed bud or opened, fully in bloom. The mystery revealed. Or the veil pulled up. So we have this person who is looking, the telescope. We have another person running. We have actually, it looks like another person right here kind of running as well. Okay. So I feel like there is this sense of, and it doesn't seem like you're running away or running towards it. I feel like it is a sense of just moving, going along with things. A quickening in some areas of your life. But in this middle point, we have stillness, right? In the interior where you are searching those mysteries. Where where the questions really are being asked. And I think that through the time that you have, been spending in these moments of the sacred deer, of finding this kind of holy configuration of love, agape, finding an ease with yourselves, things coming into balance, kind of going through different, scenarios. And almost, I think, I look at these and I think it's almost like you're creating your own constellations in your life. And what if we did that? And a while back, somebody on one of my readings commented about how some of the things I talk about are kind of in line with a system of magic called chaos magic, and this idea of kind of creating your own understanding, your own meaning within things, taking from other systems, learning from other systems, and then you apply your own meanings. Well, this happens in most higher levels of initiation of any religion or of magic, right? But I will admit, I'm a bit of a chaot. I have some background in that. So, I look at this and I think, making your own constellations, making your own zodiac through the things that you do and see. This feeling of movement forward, but at the same time, stopping to look at those most important mysteries of self, of existence, of our relationship with things that are, you know, unutterable, ineffable. They have no name. They have no words. There are no sounds that could contain them. Not that we know of, right? These are the deepest mysteries. If you could think of, you know, this being kind of like, what would it be like to discover a way to experience a color that nobody has ever seen? What would that color look like? It's hard to push your mind that far, right? I don't know. I don't know what the color would look like. But it's interesting to think about. Now, this is the same as the divine. This is the divine, really. And I feel, you know, and this isn't even surprising to me for an Aquarius to be so existential, so philosophical. Traveling those borders of your, you know, creative mind, of your spiritual mind, of, you know, your very being. Now, we do have a Scorpion right here, okay? And I have a person here who it appears that they're sitting, they have a sun above their head. So I feel like there is maybe a Scorpio person or somebody who is kind of like a Scorpion, okay? Now, here we almost have it looks like a tree, but it also looks like the Scorpion. We have a person standing here, and we have a person on a horse standing next to it. So, I feel as I'm looking at this, it almost feels like a family member, maybe, or like a good friend. I almost think like a family friend. Somebody who's been around for a long time. Well, they've been brought out into the sun for one reason or another. And I feel like there is a sense of not wanting to judge. There's a sense of not wanting to believe. There's a sense of betrayal, right? It's hard not to feel betrayed when somebody we've known for a long time, there's an aspect of their being, it becomes exposed. And we think, did I ever know this person? Like, how could they have misguided me or my family or, you know, whatever? And I feel like this is going to be something that is fairly shocking. And I think as it goes on, this is something that, you know, it could be that it is even destabilizing to how you remember things, you know, how you interpret old situations, conversations, relationships, and so on. But and that, you know, that happens. We look at things in a different light. Oh, are you okay? Excuse you. What was that? She had a big hiccup there. And I just want you to remember here. We don't have to like lay roots where we find ourselves. We don't have to get attached to how we're feeling about something. It's easy to be betrayed, wronged, lied to, you know, misguided, you know, and hopefully not worse than that, right? But it's easy to take on, as part of our personality, kind of this crusade to, really rail against somebody or something that they've done, to really go to, go to war with them, or the idea of them, or whatever they've done. Okay. And I understand that. I get that. We have that night, and I feel like that's part of, this energy. On the other hand, right, I almost look at this and it seems like it looks like a writing quill. Okay. So I almost wonder, do we take this, process it, maybe write about it, make some art with it, sublimation, taking this uncomfortableness, creating something with it, and letting it go, releasing it where you can. It's impossible not to be marked by the happenings of our life, good, bad, otherwise, right? But we don't have to take up residence in these events. Now, sometimes we have to kind of at least set up camp, right? We have to be there because we have grief, anger, sadness, all of the things, we go through all of the emotions. But to not build our house beneath that energy, that poisonous thing, the scorpion, right? But I do want to say, if these things do come to light, and it is something that is terribly difficult, and I won't even guess at particulars, but if it's something that you need to talk to somebody about, it's something that you need support, please do that for yourself. If you know my channel, I'm almost always telling you, if you have the privilege and access to therapy, counseling, group therapy, group counseling kind of thing, support groups, having support people in your life, please use those resources. I know that, well, I don't know because I don't listen to a lot of channels or anything, but I think that from the comments I see, a lot of people say on here, not a lot of readers talk about therapy or, promote therapy. Well, I think therapy, spirituality, religion, self-improvement, whatever it is, it's all, it all fits together. Okay. It is all part of the fabric of things. And these are tools that we have. They do not need to be at odds with one another. Okay, so please make sure that, you are reaching out to your support people and taking care of yourself, looking after yourself, okay? Now, let's see, what do we have going on over here? We have that sun, and I was like, come on, let's see some money stuff. Let's hit the jackpot here. I don't often see money stuff in my readings. I know. That's a lot of people come for, and I understand. I hope for, in my own personal readings, I'm like, okay, let's show me something, but it doesn't, my psyche is just not always there with that stuff. I wish it were more. But let's see, we do have the rose once again open, okay? We have a fish. So the fish actually is one of the closest things that I see to money. The fish to me is always a sign of abundance, of resources. So I feel like you're going to be not whole, right? I feel like there's been maybe some financial burden due to circumstances that were kind of unforeseen. But I do see that there's kind of a filling back up. The cup is being filled, okay? And so look for that, because that's going to be coming your way definitely in these next couple of weeks. And I see this person here. And it kind of looks like it's mirrored, these two. So it feels like we have kind of a walkabout posture. That's what I think of it as, a walkabout posture within our symbol. So this is like kind of contemplative. If you can imagine going for like a walk in the park and just kind of thinking about life and thinking about the things going on and what are you going to be doing next? And, oh, look at that squirrel. So I think that this is a good time for contemplation. This has really been a theme in my mind recently, in the last month or so, that when we get into this time of year, if you're in the southern or northern hemisphere, where we're kind of in the extremes of our weather, and a lot of us are inside, right? It definitely is a good time to be reading. And TT, please don't clean yourself right on me. This cat, she's got her leg kicked up. All right, come on, mommy, let's go. Thank you. I feel like reading books, thinking about even getting like a book of prompts, or going on Google, thinking about, or Google, any of the any of the search engines. You don't have to pick the one I just said. But definitely looking up some like prompts of contemplation, even thought experiments. I like to look up that stuff sometimes. Just, I get into the places where I'm like, I want to, I have a good night to think about some things. But what am I going to consider right now? So if if you're like me and you don't always have time, or, you have trouble staying on task. My thing is, I have all of these great ideas. And then when I find a moment, as a mom, as somebody who's, takes care of the house and a business and all that, I have these moments and then I don't know what to do. I just have so many things. I have so many books to look at. I have so many, PDFs and whatever. So I end up wasting time. So usually I try to make like a little list, or I set out a couple of things, and then I'll skim through whatever I can to get to the place where I think, okay, tonight this is what I'm going to be thinking about. I'm going to really dive deep into, whatever it is. Recently, my kind of contemplation has been on the efficiency of human beings. Just trying to even consider how it is possible that, and so, some of these things are directly beneficial to our lives, and sometimes it's really just a good opportunity to work out our brain, that muscle up there, right? So when I see the symbol of the walking person, especially if they're kind of looking up or they're kind of slightly, it is either a sign, okay, I'm not going to pull you, but you have to get down. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, mama. Go on. Come on. You're going to take the whole table with you again. Oh, goodness. So, slightly elevated head or looking forward is usually, to me, a contemplative state or devotion, looking into the awe, right? If you could imagine, like the old stories of an angel appearing in the sky or something like this. So let's go over to these. We have the Mary Magdalene Oracle cards. I'm just going to flip through here. Stop right here. And it says, the seventh power, anger is information. Anger is information. Yeah, it's letting us know, right? These reactions. These reactions that we have. They're they're symptoms, right? It doesn't, it's kind of a secondary emotion. And so, yeah, it's telling us, like, it's like having a splinter in your foot. It hurts, and if you let it sit there, it's going to really get angry. It's really going to hurt. So we have to, where we can, take care of whatever the origin is, So, yeah, Aquarius, I want to say thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And it is free to subscribe. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I love hearing from each and every one of you. What else? I think that's about it. I can't believe it's already the middle of January. I don't know. I don't know where time goes anymore. But yeah, it's hastening. So anyways, I love you. I thank you. And we will talk in just a few days from now. All right. Goodbye.